Hi guys, Tungsten here. So basically this video I'm going to show you the AK ModWorks upgrade kit for converting the Nerf rival knockout into a blaster that can shoot a short length dart. So as you can see from the beginning of the video, the kit basically includes all the parts including the brass barrel as well as the upgrade spring. Yeah, it also comes with a nice little catch for extending the catch to spring out the barrel itself. So basically now I'm just basically just going to open up the blaster part. So to dismantle it, there are quite a number of small parts in it, so you have to be careful not to lose any of those parts. So you can see all the dismantle parts over here. Especially there's a very small white kind of spring thing below here. Yeah, so you have to be careful not to lose that part, so you can keep all those things together. Yeah, so for the puncture tube you can dismantle it. Now when you open up, be very careful for the last tab. You should hold on to the so-called the cap itself and then release the last catch, or else you'll spoil it. Yeah, so for the spring part, you remove the white portion and then you unscrew the top over here. As you can see, hold on to the spring and then you can release it easily. Yep. After installing the new spring, you push it down, hold it there, and then screw back using the so-called the screw provided. Yeah. Okay. So just slowly release it, tighten it up, and feed back the white portion, and you are ready to go. So for this portion over here, you're supposed to cut away the inner portion. Now there's a small kind of uh, part whereby on top of it there's one small gap whereby the black piece that come with it will have a groove to match it, so don't remove that part. So when you see the piece you should know. Now come to the brass itself. So when you put it in, there is a hole on top whereby you can drip super glue in. So I think you should use those that is the type of super glue that is pretty thin. The one I use is not so thin, so actually it might not work that well. I end up removing the brass tube and then apply the super glue directly to the tube and shove it in. Yeah, if not, you can buy those type of super glue whereby it's quite it's not so thick, and then you can flow through the hole on the 3D printer part. Likewise for the other portion itself. Yep. So I understand from AK Works that there is a new sort of cutting for the brass. That's why it took quite some time to reach me, because when I ordered, they say they have redesigned it. Yeah. So for this part, you are supposed to remove this portion that I show. Now, once you remove it, you do have to sort of like remove more of it. There is a sort of like a jut up area whereby you really have to sand it down or remove it. Make sure when you close it, it's actually quite smooth. So you have to test it out yourself. And then comes assembly. There is a sort of O-ring over here that you're supposed to place at this black part. And then, like I said, there's a groove that matches the one on top. So you push it in and then you push it in. So the O-ring is supposed to make a better seal, right? So it's friction fit, so you can actually push all the way in, as you can see over here. Then of course you test the fitting. Now I'll suggest you polish a little bit on the brass so that you slide in and out smoothly. The front portion, you just shove it in. It should be quite easy, like you see over here. Now we're going to assemble back. So you can see the mod is actually quite simple. So for this portion, I did not speed up the video, so it's easier to see what are the steps. So there's this white thing over here. So this is the one that you have to be careful, and then put it down, right? Yep, and then followed by this metal piece. So you notice that actually initially I forgot to put the return spring for the barrel itself, but later on I'll put it in. Yeah. So I will apply lubricant for the part whereby it slides in and out for the barrel itself. So this is some of the catch. All right. Okay, so the trigger, you have to fit it such that it will be over the metal piece itself. Okay, so this one is the catch. All right. So take note of the facing of the that small little catch as well. All right, the last piece. So you notice that I forgot to put the return spring, which I will put in. Which you will see later on. Now, when I first attempt to close it, I realized it cannot be closed nicely because there's certain thing that's preventing it from closing. So watch that part. The part is actually the white small spring thing that's underneath the long sort of catch near the plunger tube. So this first I forgot, because now I realized that I forgot to put this space, so I'm going to put in. So the kit itself also come with a stronger return spring. Okay, so you should switch it to use the one provided by AK Modworks. Alright, and then place it in. Okay. Yeah. So I realized that still some difficulty. So okay. Alright. So I realize the one that is obstructing is actually the white piece. So I'm going to rectify that. So what you can do is you can take a sort of like a pincer or something like that to shift that piece upwards a little bit so that it will sort of catch downwards, which you'll see later on. Alright, so you go in and push it upwards, then you will feel a catch, then you move downwards a little bit, then you should be able to close it nicely. Alright, so by the way, if you enjoy the content, please hit like and subscribe. Alright, once you close it up, you'll be good to held it in place and try to see whether everything sort of move accordingly. No, yep. So everything move nicely. You can spring it out. Okay, make sure everything is okay. Then you put back the screws. So next, I'm going to attach the extension. This really is very useful because my finger really cannot reach that part, that piece that well. So it provides two screws, one for each side. So what I do is I position it, and then I sort of use the provided screw, which is a sharp with a sharp tip. You try to so-called make a mark. You see a little small mark over there. Okay. Then what I'm doing is I'm going to use a very small drill to sort of drill through that portion. Okay. So you can see I'm going to take out a hand drill to drill through a small hole, smaller than the diameter of the screw, of course. Now with that, then you can really screw it in easily. Okay, so that's what I do. So I mark the position with the provided screw and then screw a small hole, and then fix that piece in. So I'll repeat for the other side. So you actually provide the left and right, so you'll be good for left people who are left-handed or right-handed. That will not be a problem. So I'll repeat the process itself, mark the spot, and then drill a small little hole, and then you can screw on the piece easily. that's how you can apply these two pieces. All right. So again, check everything is working fine. All right. So now it's the for the dart holder. So it's in two pieces. So you can basically fit onto the so-called the hole that is over at near the trigger side, and then it provides the so-called the hex nut and bolt, whereby you can just screw it in and you can use an Allen key to tighten it. Right, so there are two positions for the tightening. So this is the first position, and then the second one is below. So there's actually, I believe there's one more screw that they provide that is near to the so-called the place whereby the plunger is, uh, the plunger tube is, but I realize it's not so easy to so-called um, apply it, and it's really not that necessary, so I did not do that. Okay, so with all that, no, this can be used to hold the darts that are in place so that you can have extra ammo. And then yeah, the last but not least, this is the muzzle piece. So you just push it in. It's a pretty tight fit, so you just push all the way in, and it should stay there pretty well. Yeah, there you go. You have the whole thing assembled. So it's not very complicated mod. It just take a little bit of time and to do those small little parts. And I must say the performance is pretty impressive. I do not have my chronograph, but it really shoot pretty hard, especially with the spring provided. Yeah, overall I am pretty satisfied with this sort of easy, quick way to mod up your rival knockout to accept short and darts.